The Dragon Quest III 2D HD remake has faced so much controversy because of all of the changes and censorship that is shoved into this game, and now we're actually finding out that they massively screwed up because while they made the decision to use body type A and B over male and female, there are instances of gendered language still being used to refer to the player character. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, of course, it's no real shocker to hear about a company making a massive mistake, and Square Enix certainly has made one this time because while people have been excited for the Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake, there has been some decisions that they've made, like changing the female warrior's attire from Toriyama's original iconic design to censor some of like the cleavage and the skin that's showing, but also using body type A and B. They have now been found to have been half-assing this game and its creation, which is no shocker because we now have found out that there are still instances of gendered language when it comes to some of the armors that characters can wear. Scouter V had made this post saying, "Hey Square Enix, I found a bug. I am trying to equip this armor, but it says it can only be used by women. I chose appearance A. Could you please explain which one is a woman?" Now, of course, when it comes to these games, the A appearance is usually the male and the B appearance is usually the female, but these companies are so obsessed with following social trends and not upsetting the sensitive snowflakes on social media that they will remove gendered language in order to use appearance A and appearance B, which I think is absurd. I just want to play as a woman. I think I should be able to play as a woman. And this is a remake of a game that used to use the terms, man and woman. So to see the fact that, yes, there are pieces of armor that say, by the way, this defensive gear can only be equipped by women, and then, well, there technically are no playable women, it just looks like Clown World. It's so absurd that they made this change in the first place, but it's as if, shockingly, Square Enix only decided to put body type A and B into this game to virtue signal and to try to not upset the sensitive snowflakes because they clearly had male and female, man and woman in it originally, or else this wouldn't be here. Because keep in mind, this is a full-blown remake. This isn't like a remaster and they tweaked a few things. No, this is a full-blown remake. So that means that they originally had men and women as the playable genders, right? It wasn't A and B. And now people are pointing and laughing at them, and they deserve to be mocked ruthlessly for this. People are saying things like, is it type 1 or 2? Uh-oh. Same logic. Non-binary pride flag women t-shirt, non-binary pride flag men t-shirt, and they look exactly the same. And, it's a non-binary flag shirt, and they're using man and woman. What is a woman? Also, how about your answer, Square Enix? People are also trying to throw their logic back in their face, saying appearance A is so offensive because it implies A is superior to B for being first. This also applies to body type 1 and 2. Body type 2 will always be microaggressed into being an inferior. I think the solution is clear. Only one gender per game. I mean, they are getting absolutely trolled at this point. What a weird design choice. People probably picked the hairstyle they preferred, not realizing one was supposed to be male and the other female. If it's male and female, then just say that. Don't bend over backwards for West's silly sensibilities, which I completely agree with. I mean, the majority of gamers, even in the West, do not care about body type A and B or body type 1 and 2. They just want to be able to pick a character and then go off of that. It's really just that simple, and putting them as male and female is the easiest way to do so. And of course, this game has already faced, mountains of controversy for removing the male and female character options. We also actually saw the Dragon Quest creator Yuji Horii maligned as a Nazi and a chud simply for questioning gender ideology being required for this remake. Imagine that you are the creator of a franchise and you're being called terrible names simply because you disagree with a decision that was made by the company, like in this case, Square Enix. Like, oh my god, it is his creation. He should be able to at least give his own freaking opinion. As translated, he responded, yeah, there were various regulations in place. Apparently, it's not allowed to show things like too much skin, and I really don't understand that either. If there's too much exposure, the age rating goes up. It means we won't be able to sell it as an all ages product, which is a reason why, of course, over the past few years, we have seen things like cleavage and just skin on female characters, covered up and their body proportions toned down, which is a shame in my opinion, because if something already has a proper age rating, or you have to change so much in order to reach your desired age rating, then at that point you shouldn't even be making a game because you have no self-respect. If you are willing to change 50 things in order to get a T instead of an M, I do not respect you as a creative. That's just my personal 2 cents. And then he addressed the removal of the choice to choose between male and female. And Dragon Quest used to be able to choose between a male and female main character, but now you can't choose between them. We have to label them type 1 and 2. I really wonder who's even complaining about this. And this is an issue. Companies are trying to appeal to people who do not even buy or play video games. You're making all of these changes for the vocal minority of individuals. And then when you look at that vocal minority, only half of them would even consider buying the game, because there are plenty of people over on social media like X who see something, complain, but they're not going to buy it anyway. They just want to be able to have their voice be heard because they want to feel like they have power and influence. And then when they do have an influence on a product, all you're doing is pushing away the gamers who would actually purchase it, the real players of these franchises, by making these stupid decisions. And even Yuji Horii thinks that this is dumb. And he was called a NZ and a chud for it, which is just disgusting. And it's so sad. But we also saw several other decisions, like they renamed the town of Isis to Abyss in the remake, because, of course, the town of Isis is too offensive of a name. And now, of course, we see a situation like this that shows that this wasn't even their original intention, to have a body type 1 and a body type 2, an appearance A and a B. They originally just were going to use men and women, but they clearly changed it at the very last second. Now, of course, it is Square Enix, so I can't say I'm particularly shocked, but it's decisions like this that have forced a lot of customers away from this company. There's a lot of people now who will not purchase Squeenix games, who try to avoid them like the plague, which I completely understand. This is a ridiculous situation all around to see this much censorship and this many terrible decisions being made. So I wonder if they're going to release a statement, and if any of the developers are going to say anything about this. Probably not. They'll probably try to push it under the rug and ignore its existence, but I will be keeping my eye on it, though that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.